better manage your workforce. Now, there are huge cost savings from an efficient workforce, so consider continuous improvement strategies.
Warning: Damian Andrews' growing revenue and profit, if implemented, will put more money in your pocket. Please use with caution.
Damian Andrews, growing revenue and profit. And we're talking about inflation. Can your business survive war and aging demographics? Now, two major causes of inflation surge that we're experiencing at the moment is Russia's war in Ukraine and the aging population. High inflation is here to stay, and businesses must adapt to survive. Now, Russia and Ukraine were pillars of global export markets. Energy, food, and other critical resources came out of Russia and Ukraine. And European energy prices jumped after the sudden reduction in Russian oil, gas, and coal exports. An unusually warm winter in 2020 meant that price increases didn't go as high as they possibly could have. Now, on top of that, Russia's bombed Ukraine's food storage facilities and blocked its ocean exports. Russia's aim is to hurt Ukraine's economy, hindering its counteroffensive. Now, Russia is also a major exporter of agricultural products such as grains, so while Russia damages UK grain, its own exports aren't restricted and continue to make money. So this has helped keep grain prices lower. But as the old adage goes, the person with the gold, i.e. grain, makes the rules, and Putin knows this. Now, there are some prohibitions on importing Russian minerals, such as iron, steel, and other metals. Plus, with Ukrainian exports offline due to Putin's war, there's an upward pressure on raw material prices. Now, this, of course, bodes well for countries such as Australia, Brazil, Chile, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Africa, plus add China for its rare earth elements. But this article's not about a business investment. This is a business article, not about an investment article. So now, on top of the energy and food issues, we've got to add the greying tectonic shift of the global workforce. That's right, Japan, Italy, Germany, Portugal, Finland, South Korea, Spain, Greece, they're the fastest aging countries. But in reality, they've really passed the precipice, and it's also likely that China leads that list, but the data is less reliable coming from the land of the panda. China's population likely peaked in 2017 and is likely to shrink by 500 million people by 2050. On top of that, the world population, which is currently 7.9 billion people, and some estimates show it dropping by to 6.3 billion by 2100. So it's some time off, but that's a big drop and the opposite of what we are used to for our economy to operate. So the thing is, you don't get a twinkle in your eye and poof, you have young workers entering the market. You need to wait 20 to 25 years. So it will take tens of years before we can fix this problem. The possibility that that will happen anytime soon is probably not likely, because the previous state of growing populations is not realistic. When a country develops and modernizes, people have fewer children. So the world's birth rate peaked at 5.33 children per woman in 1963 and has plummeted to 2.3 in 2020 and has continued to fall from there. Now we need a birth rate of 2.1 for us to continue to exist. So fewer people means higher demand for workers, which increases the wages and product prices. Yet, does it encourage innovation? And that's something it does do, encourage innovation. Lack of labor means business can operate. The other problem is lack of labor means that business cannot operate at full capacity. This leads to supply shortages. This encourages innovation, which then leads to job losses in that sector, which have a flow-on effect of lower wages and buying power for certain people, making them spend less. So it's kind of a big convoluted problem there. All these factors cause higher inflation, which is the end result. And in response, central banks raise interest. The next question is, won't raising interest worsen the problem? So that's a valid question, but this is not an economics article either. So let's get to the business point. Vulnerable businesses that are affected by inflation. The following businesses are more vulnerable with inflationary pressures. Low margin retailers. Many retail businesses find it difficult to pass on their increased costs, and businesses with razor thin profit margins are at risk. Fixed price contracts, well, in business, usually it's fixed income, but the business costs are not fixed. Construction and defense contracts are a good example. There's a slump in, there's a lump sum price, but the inputs such as labor and raw material costs are not fixed. Also, business with a high variable cost. Transport, dependent on fuel prices, restaurant, dependent on food prices, can face significant challenges. Rapidly raising the cost can squeeze profitability less than can be passed on to the customer. Debt-ridden businesses are another ones that are at risk. Businesses with high debt levels, especially if they're variable debt, face increased borrowing costs. Import-dependent businesses, well, this depends on your currency, but when your currency depreciates due to inflation, imports become more expensive. Less of a problem if it's global and everyone's going through inflationary problems, but just something to be aware of. Businesses, non-essential and luxury goods survivors, people cut back on non-essential purchases first, so that's a high-risk business. Real estate, existing property may appreciate in nominal terms, but high inflation can lead to higher interest rates, which we talked about earlier, dampening new property sales and developments. Service industries with long-term payments, again, similar to the fixed price contracts. I referred to what I said earlier, in that you have the fixed price that you're going to receive an income, but your costs of doing business continue to grow. Producers of durable goods, so big ticket items such as cars, appliances, and furniture often get delayed. So if you're in that business, it's high risk. And businesses with inelastic demand. So customers don't reduce consumption proportionally as as prices rise. However, the business costs to enable supply go up in greater proportion than the prices can be risen. So that creates problems with profitability. So, inflation survival strategies. Your best strategy to survive and thrive in an inflationary environment is a great strategy with long-term planning. And the sooner you get started, the better positioned you will be. Plus, many businesses won't adjust. It is fact, they won't adjust or take too long to adjust, providing expansion opportunities for those better positioned to fulfill customer needs. So there's takeovers, there's buying businesses that or sort of assets from businesses go out of business. Those kind of things, those opportunities do exist in an inflationary environment. It's a great place to pick up bargains. You buy things when they're on sale. So here are some strategies to implement to help you survive and thrive. And if you want to learn more, if it's not unreasonable to learn more, we can give you more details as well. But here's some things to help you off the cuff. Adjust your pricing. So when you adjust your pricing, do it in smaller and more frequent jumps in line with your pricing and cost increases. And that way you have a system, you really should have a system of regularly reviewing costs, capture that data, and then have a way of passing that on again in small and in more frequent jumps in prices. Hedging, so lock in prices for essential inputs where you can do that, where you can hedge. Diversify suppliers, use a system to monitor suppliers, and also use the fear of missing out to negotiate better prices with your inputs. So having more suppliers available to you gives you more negotiating power. Operational efficiency. Now, most businesses have large amounts of wastage in their operations that company owners and managers are just not aware of because their reticular activating system blocks them from seeing it. So consider the efficiencies realized during COVID, during the COVID period, which were not seen, were not previously adopted. So have a think about that, because there were so many things that could have been done that weren't, and it was only when COVID came along, and then people went, "Oh my God, we've got to do it now," and they did it, but they always could have. So there's so many areas in operational efficiency for improvements. I see that all the time. That's where I spend a lot of my time working with organizations, because there's so much money to be made there. And the other thing with operational efficiency as well, every dollar that you save on your costs is a dollar towards your bottom line. Every dollar you get in sales is not a dollar to your bottom line. So reevaluate your contracts where you can, assess which, if any, contracts can be renegotiated. And that's where negotiation skills come in really handy. Just because it's in writing doesn't mean you can't renegotiate it. That's a whole other topic, and we have a whole program, Negotiation Magic, on that talks about that. Focus on value addition. Differentiating what you offer puts you in a unique, advantageable position, especially when you can link that to a deep customer need. So if you can show that what you have is extremely valuable and to a need, especially if it's unique, you remove most of your competing on price. It's really, really, really great way to operate business. Manage inventory or stockpiling essential goods if you can do that, because as prices go up, you'll already have that stock. But you need to, again, be careful about that, because one, you've got to weigh it against storage costs, and also, two, making sure that you do use it all, that doesn't become obsolete. So control and cost control, so eliminate efficiencies and unnecessary costs. Again, go through your operational strategy. Better manage your workforce. Now, there are huge cost savings from an efficient workforce. So consider continuous improvement strategies. Yes, that's one of the programs that we run, continuous improvement, and also use the 2WD goal setting strategies. And there's a separate article on that, but that's a proprietary program that we actually have as well. So it's something that can help you. But managing your workforce, again, there's a lot of efficiency there if you know how to implement that. Diversify your revenue streams, so where possible, intermix offerings with things that are less likely to be affected by inflation if you've got that ability. Monitor debt, so be conscious of how much debt you are taking on, and reduce it where you can. Obviously, again, like longer term strategies, you want to have a process in place where you minimize the debt you've got, because it's just a cost. The other side of that is if you are in high margin, if you're operating high margin areas, the margins give you security over that debt level if your cost control's well managed. Invest in technology. There's so many ways to create things much more, or operate more efficiently by using technologies. Not just talking computers either. There's different technologies and systems you can put in place that when you use them, your employees operate much, much more efficiently. Good customer communication. Now, good relationships with customers is very valuable. That's something just really, really necessary to operate your business. Just openly communicate information, especially about change in your operation, including price changes. Have a dialogue going, a regular dialogue, an authentic dialogue. And people, the law of reciprocity will kick in. Customers will support you a lot. Reevaluate your products and service offerings as much as possible. And you don't just do this in inflationary environment. You want to shift to high margin offerings, but certainly in an inflationary environment, you want to discontinue unprofitable products and services. Just cut them out. If they're not making a profit, get rid of them. And review your marketing and promotional activities. So make your marketing efficient. So this is more about either content, and also to make your ad contact memorable. There's a lot of ads out there that just really aren't very good. They're not, you can't identify who it is, what it's for. So there's simple principles with marketing that you need to adopt, and unfortunately, even a lot of professional advertising agencies just don't get this right. It needs to stand out, and so this is where you can get much, much more efficient advertising and bang for your buck, because if you're paying for an ad and someone doesn't remember you, it's a waste of money. So there's some tips to help inflation-proof your business. And one of the key ways of doing that is through innovating, and that's where our Innovation Genius program can help. Innovation Genius. Innovation is a key way to reduce costs and also increase your revenue in inflationary environments. You can create more effective marketing to increase revenue and reduce your cost of operation. There's just so many things you can do with innovation. Again, marketing, all those kind of things, operations, sales, innovations make much, 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 much big progress on your business. How's that for English for you? And fortune does favor the bold. Go out there and give it a go. But Innovation Genius gives you strategies to turn challenges into opportunities. You can develop a visionary perspective, understand market insights, optimize your resources, and anticipate problems before they explode. So that's Innovation Genius, and we do believe in this program very much. It comes with a 100% money-back guarantee, and we've developed unique systems of micro-learning, social learning, and gamification, so the changes are rapidly implemented into your business. It's not unreasonable. We'd love to learn more about how Innovation Genius can have a dramatic impact on growing your business revenue and profit. So please feel free to reach out. Love to have a chat and understand how we can help your business keep up and thrive. This is Damien Andrews for Growing Revenue and Profit.